What's up out there, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope all is well with you guys out there on this raining Wednesday. All is well here. Come across these stories right here. They are no way connected, okay? As a matter of fact, this particular story to the left involving 20-year-old Jacob Smith worked for a McDonald's. He was a shift manager in Yuba County, California, okay? Somewhere around May 30th. Yeah, May 30th. He was doused with hot grease, okay? And he received more than like third-degree burns, of a vast portion of his body, all right? And to your left, well, right here, you got John Wallace Smith. He's 23 years old, who was involved in a shooting at Wilmington, Delaware. Wilmington, Delaware, yeah. At Christiana Care. Just yesterday, I think. You know what I mean? Could have been Monday, I believe. It was yesterday, though. Where he took the life. He shot two people, and took the life of one of them. Nobody really knows why, But the reason why I decided to actually run in these two stories together is because on the work violence. You see what I'm saying? Now, in some way, shape, or form, whoever did these crimes, like with Mr. Smith to your left, was triggered by something just like Mr. Bay to your right. He, basically victimized, and you got the victim to the left, okay? And that's just what it is. I've said time and time again, people need to just chill on these jobs and stop disrespecting folks, because you don't know who you might set off. You don't know what they might be going through, so much to the point to where they get that day comes where I don't give a fuck attitude. Whoever say this or do this or whatever, that's it. This is way is running in this day and age now on these jobs. Just because you got a little position, you know what I'm saying, that don't give you the right to berate anybody, talk down to them, or whatever. I'm not saying that's giving anybody the excuse to just go and do harm to someone, because myself, I'd rather walk off of a job, tell them motherfucker fuck them, and go on about my business. You see what I'm saying? Before I go and put my freedom in jeopardy. You see what I mean? They ain't worth that. I'd rather do that. And then on the other hand, you got situations like where people 2, 3, 4, even up to 5, cliques of people hanging out, bullying one person. You know what I'm saying? Bullying. Being disrespectful. You don't know what these people might do. You just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure these cases right here have something to do with, coercion, disrespect, you know what I'm saying? Berating folks, But what I want us to do is watch the first situation that took place on May 30th with Mr. Jacob Smith here, discussing, his injuries, being doused with hot grease. And then we're going to go directly to Mr. John Wallace Bay with the hospital shooting. So let's sit back and check that out.
McDonald's manager in Yuba City recovering after police say his co-worker threw hot oil on him. Now that man's mother tells ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen he's recovering. They're still trying to piece together why it happened.
My son is a God-fearing. He would give anything to anybody. If he had $5 in his wallet and you needed it, he would just give it to you.
A positive light in her life. That's how Amber Smith describes her 20-year-old son, Jacob Smith. But now he's fighting to remain positive after police say he was attacked last Saturday.
He's got second-degree burns over 22% of his body. He was in excruciating pain yesterday.
Jacob is a shift manager at a Yuba City McDonald's. Last Saturday, Yuba police got a call that Jacob was attacked by another employee.
The victim was up, walking around, ambulatory, and able to communicate with them, but had obvious burn marks on his upper torso and his face area.
Police say the suspect, 23-year-old Jelani Blewett, threw hot oil on Jacob. Police say Blewett left the McDonald's before they got there. Shortly after he took off, the Sutter County Sheriff's Office released this missing person flyer saying he's at risk due to a, quote, diagnosis and vulnerabilities.
He was contacted and arrested by the Sutter County Sheriff's Department on June 1st, a little after midnight.
Blewett is currently in custody at the Sutter County Jail facing multiple charges. Police say it's still unclear if there was a motive for the attack.
The arraignment was yesterday in the Sutter County Court, at which time he was held to answer on assault with a deadly weapon, mayhem, serious felony assault resulting in great bodily injury. And he was held to answer on that at the arraignment, and currently he's being held in Sutter County with no bail.
Smith says her son is recovering and staying positive. She's started this GoFundMe page to help pay for his bills, and she's grateful to the community for all the support her son has received. Jeannie Nguyen, ABC 10.
So the Sutter County Sheriff's Department says they first reported Blewett as missing because it was reported by family. They also say he does have a disability, as Jeannie said, but they would not essentially confirm to us what it officially is.
But first at 5, brand new details about the chaotic moments after gunfire erupted inside Wilmington Hospital. I'm Siafa Lewis in for Yuki, Washington.
And I'm Natasha Brown. We are now hearing the emergency dispatch alerting first responders to a hostile mass casualty incident at the hospital.
Attention all units to Wilmington Hospital, 501 West 14th Street for a hostile MCI. Engine 1, Engine 5, Ladder 1, Battalion 2, Battalion 1, Battalion 5 responding. Attention all units to Wilmington Hospital, 501 West 14th Street for a hostile MCI.
And this is who police say was behind it. His name is John Wallace Bay. The 23-year-old now faces a lengthy list of serious charges, including murder.
Our team has been working this story all day long. Ryan Hughes is learning more about the victims in this incident. But we begin with the latest on the investigation. And Madeline Wright was the first of our reporters on the scene yesterday, and she leads us off tonight. Madeline.
Siafa, staff members here at Wilmington Hospital are still shaken up. Christianacare confirms that the suspect and the 2 employees who were shot were all co-workers here at the hospital. Police identified 23-year-old John Wallace Bay as the employee who shot 2 co-workers, killing one at Wilmington Hospital Tuesday afternoon. John Richardson says he lives next door to the suspect in this quiet neighborhood in Newcastle.
I'm in complete shock, when you talk about happening close to home, literally next door.
The hospital went on lockdown as SWAT teams went door to door searching for the gunman. Richardson's wife says she never could have imagined her neighbor would be at the center of it all.
He seemed quiet to himself. Nothing out of the ordinary where we would expect something like this.
Richardson provided this doorbell video showing unmarked police cars in the neighborhood, but detectives didn't find the suspect at his house. After a 6-hour manhunt, he was arrested in Philadelphia's Olney section. Wallace Bay is now charged with murder, attempted murder, possession of a firearm, and carrying a concealed deadly weapon.
It's really hard to understand the reasoning why.
According to Wallace Bay's LinkedIn profile, he worked in IT at Christianacare with an interest in coding. Police haven't discussed a motive for the shooting, but Wilmington Council President Trippy Congo says workplace violence is a growing problem.
I think we have to take a holistic look at how we are raising our younger generation.
Neighbors are praying for the victims.
It's just an unfortunate situation. Both families impacted, the victim and the shooter as well.
At last check, Wallace Bay was still in Pennsylvania, waiting to be extradited back to Delaware to face charges. Live in Wilmington, Madeline Wright, CBS News, Philadelphia. Back to you.
Madeline, thank you very much. Time now to bring in CBS Philadelphia's Ryan Hughes.
And Ryan, we understand you're learning more about the victims here in this case.
Yeah, guys, good evening to you. We learned today from police both of those shooting victims are only 19 years old. One young man died from his injuries. Police are saying that second young man is in critical but stable condition. The hospital confirms they were both employees here, but tonight their names are still not being released. And today we spent several hours speaking with doctors, nurses, and other employees who were at the hospital at the time of the shooting. Many returned to work this morning, and they described the mood around the building as somber yet supportive. The shooting not only triggered a big response, it also sent fear throughout the hospital. One nurse tells me she was locked inside an exam room as the building was on lockdown and as investigators searched for the shooter. I spoke with one employee who did not want to be identified. She says she is thinking about the victims and their families, of course, and she came back to work today knowing her patients needed her.
It's sadness, but our patients are still coming in. We're still supporting. We have support, from upper leadership and everything. So that makes everything a little ease, and that they caught him.
And the nurses and doctors that I spoke with today, they describe that support. They tell us a number of resources have been made available to them, including counseling services. We're told that will continue here over the next few days. We are live tonight in Wilmington. Ryan Hughes, CBS News, Philadelphia.
All right, Ryan, thank you very much for the update there. Well, as new details do emerge, stay with CBS News Philadelphia. When we're not on television, you can always get the latest online anytime at cbsphiladelphia.com.
What a terrible situation in both cases here. You better believe that work violence is increasing here in this country. And it's all because people don't have respect for the next person. They just don't. The respect thing now is at an all-time low. A lot of people, out here in the streets, in workplaces, think, they got a point to prove, you see? And they come across people, that just don't, might just be on some kind of fuse or something. And there's always some quiet ones, that don't bother nobody, you know what I mean? They cordial to people who are cordial to them, and just don't want to be bothered, just want to do their job without, being meddled with. But you got these bullies, you got bullies. And a lot of times these people, they, like I said, they even in positions that might be a little higher, might come with a little bit more pay and also responsibility. You know what I mean? These people tend to take their titles as a means to use as a stick with people that may be, working under them with maybe a little bit less pay. You see what I'm saying? I'm greater than you. I can do or say what I want to do to you and all that. No, you can't. You want to be careful. You don't want to be bothering setting people off. Learn to respect your fellow man, your fellow employee. You see what I'm saying? Then on the other hand, you got these little cliques, like I said earlier on. They get running 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s, whatever. Single out one person that they got a problem with that may have never said or done anything wrong to them, period. And they think that they just can act any kind of way with and talk to any kind of way, meddle, talk all kinds of shit. A lot of times these people ain't having that. A lot of these people might have mental health problems, that wasn't diagnosed. I don't know. Might be going through something in their personal life. I remember the story I did back here, I'm thinking, what was it? Could have been last year or earlier this year. I don't know. I've done so many of them. With the manager in Detroit, McDonald's, where there was a mental, a person, mental health like type person had a problem. But she worked at the McDonald's. You see what I'm saying? The manager there talked down to her, berated her, and everything else. And that woman came back. She sent her home for the day for whatever reason. And the girl didn't like it because she felt like she was always picking on her. And she said that she talked to me any kind of way. And she ain't going to keep talking to me any kind of way. That's what she said. And she went back to that McDonald's and took that woman out with a knife. Okay? You see, now her position at that point in time meant nothing. It meant nothing. Again, I'm not saying this is the way you should handle things. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, what's done is done. If you bring these kind of things on yourself, you put yourself at risk. Learn to respect other people's feelings. Don't be on the job or anywhere else disrespecting folks, picking on people, and all of that kind of stuff. Don't do it, as you don't know what you might be putting yourself. You might not be knowing what the position you might be putting yourself in. Now, as far as this guy right here, wow, he's in bad shape as far as the hot grease go. Wow. Hopefully you get a speedy recovery, and condolences to the family at the hospital in Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware, for their loss. It's just too bad, But like I said, hey, watch yourself out there and just chill. You ain't got a point to prove. Don't be picking on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Just mind your business and get along with folks. That's all I can say about it. But what say you, people? Let me know in the comments what you think about these two situations. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, people. Please remember to live your life as though we are being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.